I hope you all are doing well. I guess most of y'all probably are sleeping, but I just got out of work a little while ago and I had my supper, and I wanted to come on and rap a little taste uh, about a topic. I guess several topics. In the area of loyalty, trust, and betrayal. Uh, Now, not by now, this channel. I have a lot of new people on this channel, and I appreciate the new subscribers that I have. I've been working hard for a little while to try to build this little channel up, and under the direction of my mentor, my internet mentor, Mr. Charleston White. Uh, so by now, what I'm saying by now, y'all know this is a Nigga Nation affiliated channel. I know that I'm supposed to wait 2 minutes before I say certain words or whatever. I guess in accordance to the internet rules. But yeah, where do I begin with it though? You know, I can say I think I've said plenty of times that most of the time I'm by myself. I'm an introverted person. And that's not to say I'm unable to be social. Uh, I guess in certain situations and circumstances, I'm a very social person, but it also has to be around the right environment and the right people. Uh, so and I guess hold on, let me get. I'm trying to get to the point, but I want to kind of like walk my way into this. Uh, I've had friends, I guess if you want to call them friends, and I guess in some cases, some people might consider themselves still my friend, and and I guess to some degree, maybe to a bigger degree or lesser degree, I might consider them friends. But I've also lost friends, and not necessarily say I have enemies, cause like I said, I spend most of my time minding my own business. But I guess just to speak about the course when you speak about relationships, you know uh, when you have someone that you consider that to be your friend, to be someone that you can confide in, whether it be uh, your deepest secrets, or your emotional, uh, what's to say, saints. What's the word I'm looking for? Uh, to protect your emotion, protect someone that might protect your feelings, or at least not even necessarily protect it. Because sometimes, if you have a real friend, someone who really cares about your best self interest, or your best interest, they sometimes have to put your feelings to the side in order to make sure that you operate or you operate in the best interest of yourself, in the best, not in the best interest of yourself, or that you don't put yourself in situations and circumstances that may be negative and hurt you. So when you find someone that's like that, uh, that you can call a friend, that you know that you have love for, that you like I say you can trust, and trust is something that is I guess for some people it's easy, to be naive and to put your trust in certain people. But during the course of my circumstances, and not during the course of my experiences and the circumstances and situations that I've dealt with in dealing with people that I consider friends or people that I deal with, sometimes you may put a certain amount of trust in them to find out that they're not necessarily worthy of that trust. Now, and I guess after a while you go through these times where you bump your head, and then you get to a point where you question, uh, is it something that you're doing? I mean, is it something about you, or is your picker broken? Because you pick the people that are around you. Uh, so just to bring it to the point, I mean, it's all over the internet. If you follow Charleston White, or you are familiar with Charleston White, just keep up with the Charleston chat, the Charleston news. That today depending on whose side of it, when another manager of his quit or another manager of his got fired. And usually when you try to put people, usually when you do business, and business is important to you, and also, and I guess if you're successful in your business, you want to put people around you that you care about, because you kind of, in a way, if you really love and you have a loyalty to that person, you tend to want to bring that person along with you to enjoy the fruits of whatever benefits or accomplishments or gains that you might be a part of. Now, one thing about it that I've learned, and it could be something as simple as not even necessarily a financial gain or accomplishment. It could be something like as simple as we'll take it back to school. You might get a good be the student that gets the good grades, get the attention from the teacher. Uh, and I guess in coming with the favoritism from the particular teacher, you might be able to to reap the not necessarily reap, to take the consideration, the favor that you get from that teacher, and all, and use it to bless others, other of your classmates, or let's say your friend or whatever. And say like, well, you get to leave the class or whatever, and go on and run to the, something simple like run to the office. You get to go out of class. You get special treatment. So you want to like bring that friend and say, well, yeah, teacher let me do this. So since you down with me, I'm gonna be down. I'm gonna put you on. So you put your person on, and then they get to the point where I guess they may be very well enjoying the fruits of the benefits that you have, but for some spirits, there becomes a point of competition. There also becomes a point of resentment. So, and the attempt and the effort of them of competing with you, or resenting you, they're either going to do two things. They're either going to try to bump you out your spot to take over for what you're benefiting from, or they're going to attempt to knock you out of your position, because they for some reason they're not able to even bump you out and take over. They're not qualified to do as such. This occurrence is not nothing. It could happen by those that are not even your friends, or those people that may just be adjacent and know about the position that you're in. And those people, you come to expect that in life, because that's part of living. Everybody's not going to be on your side. But when you put trust in someone, in order to bring them close to you and have them close to you, and to appreciate the good things that go on in your particular life, and then they go and they compromise that trust. uh, they scoff at that loyalty. They go against that loyalty. uh, or what you end up with is dealing with the state of betrayal. Now, betrayal for me, I and I mean, and being a man, you being, and I guess this might be something that's generalized, whatever. Being a man, you kind of want to consider yourself being tough. If you consider yourself being a masculine man, and all people have emotions, but men, men are socially somehow required to have a better grip of expressing emotions or dealing with one's emotions. But yet still there's the fact that these controlled emotions, these emotions that you feel as if that you have a good grasp on, and you use your judgment, you use your logic and your reason, and to somehow use those emotions and those feelings as a tool in order to discern those who might be for you or against you. The problem comes when you're wrong. You don't want to be wrong about those that you put your trust and your loyalty into. But that happens as a fact of life. And then when that happens, you get to a point where I guess there's always the choice to forgive. And there's always the choice to hold the grudge. And in some cases, and from personally speaking, I used to have a problem with forgiving. And I'm not saying that not forgiving, and not saying that I couldn't forgive. My problem is that oftentimes I would give people chances, more chances than they deserved, I guess. And as I've grown older and gone through certain situations over and over again, I may be being a little bit much when I'm saying over and over again, but more times than once, going through the same thing over and over again with people, you get to the point where you be like, well, hell, it's better for me to be by myself and not deal with nobody. United salute, brother. Yeah. I'm over here talking about loyalty and betrayal and trust. I know you may have heard the news that our good brother Mr. Charleston has had to do a change in his staff today. Yeah, man. I'm looking I'm looking at the growth. I'm appreciating the growth, and I'm very, very, very close to that 1,000 watch hours. And I have no problem with thanking Mr. Charles, because Mr. Charles is very, 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 very much responsible for this increased growth. And it's like, well, and I don't want to get to, because it's not. I don't know. I don't know the girl V. I don't know uh, Miss Banks. Uh, and as far as my knowing of Mr. Charles is just what I can research, what he shows us online, and just my own discernment. And yeah, man, shit, man. Yeah, man. I had to stick with it. I had to stick with the grind of it, because it's like it's something that I started, and then in my process of starting it, it's like, well, you think, and I guess this kind of relates to it. You would think that me having a certain amount of Facebook friends, and me knowing a certain amount of people. I know a lot of people. I mean, I'm an old guy, and I went to college and I went to high school, and I've had different relationships all through the course of life. I used to sell weed, all the time. I know a lot of people. And I would think that something like this, 1,000 subscribers, get some people to watch a few videos and share. I figured me doing this shit wouldn't have took no more than 2 months. But it's like, well, those people, when you decide to do certain things, and in the way that you do them, maybe they may not like the way that you do them, or maybe it may be a certain hmm. And I don't want to say people don't want to see you succeed. I don't want to say people may be envious, or may be judgment on what you want to do, and they may feel as if, well, they don't want to play no part in you reaching your goal to succeed. But who knows? Oh, we got Duke Farrell in the house. What's the point of making videos of CW defending me when my name is bigger than his? See, you said the key word there, right there, Mr. Farrell. You said was. You know, now you come on my live and say it like that, but you deny the fact that Mr. Charleston did stand up for you after you suffered some serious injuries from this so-called exhibition bout. CW turned on me for views and clout. I never did anything to the guy. You know, Duke Farrell, the first time I guess I really seen you, and it kind of surprised me that you were talking against him. It was like on some Facebook forum, some men's forum on Facebook, and you were talking. You called in, and the guy was interviewing you, and you were talking about Charleston, and I was like, and I was kind of shocked because I was kind of shocked because I had from the research of the videos I saw before, I thought the child was cool. But you was one of the first ones that came on trying to paint the man as being a rapist when you hung around him. So if you were such a rapist and such a bad guy, you spent a whole lot of time hanging around him. Uh, so why would you flip out now and then try to come at him with these accusations? And you know that he plays a character online. And a lot of time he'd be bullshitting online. You try to build your clout up on the sake that you speaking against Charleston, trying to bring Charleston down when Charleston wasn't even doesn't even really talk about you unless you bring his name up. Evidently, I got a real enough story for you to be on here. So I'm talking about concepts of loyalty. I'm talking about concepts called trust. I'm talking about concepts called betrayal. Now, whether you say he turned on you for views, the first time I heard him really speak out against you was after the fact that you came on there trying to ride the story about he raped white woman, he's a rapist, and this, that, and the third. What benefit would Charleston get of talking about you, Duke Farrell? Out of all these years, I continue to see you pop up on this forum, pop up on Dewberry page, you pop up over here. You pop up in the comment section, in the chat room on his videos and his lives, trying to take shots. So if he clout chased you for the views and the attention, then why can't you get your views and attention without even have to say nothing about it? I know this United. I know dude weird man. But I don't know him. All I know is what I seen. Did he or did he not? You saw the video. Did he or did he not go to them dudes down in Dallas? The Dewberry brothers. He said he even got up with Joe Blow. Joe Blow in Fort Worth talking about, well, I got a guy for this guy for him. I can do Dewberry, and then the Dewberries take care of the other guy. But he said Charleston the bad guy to you, huh? But yeah, I guess he gone. But back to what I'm saying here, man. You put your trust in people. And by putting that trust in people, you feel as if you've garnered some type of loyalty with those people. But somehow I don't know. Is the fact that loyalty is that fragile? For me, it's like the golden rule: do unto others that you would have them do unto you. I don't even. It's like I relate to. And I mean, I'm not saying that the level of the betrayal or the effects of the betrayal that's happening to Charleston can be equivocated to me. But when I see, and I think one of the first times, I think it was on one of the stream yards that he had, it's way back in his archives where he had the stream when he used to do stream yards. And I asked him, I said, Mr. Charleston, what's up with the betrayals, man? And it's like, they play, and I guess usually what people say, you look at the common denominator. Why is it always happening? I guess they all picking on you, huh? That's what my dad used to tell me when I shit like that. With shit like that, I talk about how the situations, the circumstance I would get in. So they just picking on you, huh? But it's not it. And I guess if Mr. Charles wasn't on live every day, you could just about see every facet of the situations that go on in his growth and his building his brand up and his accomplishments and whatever types of conflicts or whatever he may have. If we wasn't online, if we wasn't online to see the stuff happening, then we I guess it would be easy for us to dismiss it with that's something wrong with that nigga Charles. But a lot of times we witness stuff like the situation, and I don't, and Doctor O ain't never done me, but I saw the relationship he had with Doctor O from an outsider's perspective, and it body rocked me when he quit Doctor O. Uh, now the girl V, I was pretty, and I guess I can understand due to the fact that she's associated with Say Cheese and Charles is associated with Say Cheese. Uh, I I hate to say it, but I kind of knew that wasn't really gonna work anyway because uh, like I said, I've been in situations where I used to be the weed man. So the nigga with a friend with weed is a friend in need, and you're able to recognize an opportunist. If I can relate that to that, and I can see her as putting herself in a position, but just for I guess self promotion, but also from the and it doesn't. It's not about race, but I didn't see her as she's not. She's not. She doesn't appear to be like Charleston's kind, or our people, the kind, the kind of nigga, our kind of nigga. I mean, I guess we call, we have cool people that aren't necessarily black. Maybe I slip up and call my little Mexican coworker, "What up, my nigga?" Sometime, but still, it's because there's a kindred spirit. There's something that's relatable to my Mexican coworker, or just, what I'm saying. But and it's really not the first time that he gave V a tongue lash. A while back, I forgot what it was when he had went off on V before. So when I saw that V was his publicist, I like I mean I can't say nothing about that man bitch. So I could do was observe. But knowing that when he had let Dr. O go and he found this and he had pulled his friend up. I said, well, I guess that's a good hand because the way I saw her doing business in regards to the situation he had with those the comedy promoters, she and I think because I'm an accounting man, I was an accounting man. I'm a dropout student, but I'm an accounting major. When he broke down something that she had done in the way of she had found out in the way of the numbers and doing the crunching of the numbers, I said, well, shit, that's his friend, and she's smart. Now I don't know how big a manager. Charles said she doesn't necessarily have great experience of being a manager, but she's smart and evidently she's teachable. So let me see. Yeah, and that dude get his snake. Yep. Oh yeah, while I'm on here, I can do this. I'm gonna make you a moderator. Unitas. Channel. Can manage block words and change channel. Nah, I'm gonna try this first. I guess. Yeah. Unitas one is a moderator. He spoke out against me when I was talking with Kenny B. Well, what was you talking about Kenny B about? It depends. The man, I mean, and like I said, I don't be around him like that. But from what I've seen from the past, generally, in order for you to get Charleston to go off and say something to you about you, you have to have said something or done something to him. Right is right and wrong is wrong, you know. So uh some I need either I need more evidence or either more self analysis should be done on your part, or even in regards to the situation that happened, whatever, however y'all break out, or rip the curb. um the internet wasn't necessarily a place to bring it to. You know, I mean, I guess if it's he brings his shit to the internet in response to the shit that happens, but uh the type of jacket you was trying to put on him, you was trying to fuck the man's money off, and the man reputation off. You know that man ain't raped nobody, man. You know the nigga talking shit, but you was steadily trying to go in and backdoor the niggas relationships with people and stuff like that, on the sake of I guess centering yourself as someone that's relevant to his success, because you just did that here, on the sake of you trying to I guess what you were attempting to do was stand up for those imaginary white rape victims that he was speaking about, and and really. And when, especially when you use a comparison, like, you know, the slave man, how the slave master, and he ain't got to go all the way back to slavery. Even after slavery, it'd be some of them Caucasian folks be raping black women. And not to say that the nigga don't rape the black woman as well, but we talking about one specific thing. And the example that Charleston uses is like saying, well, they used to do it to our women, they used to do it to us, so you know. Uh, why can't I get on here and make believe? Why can't I get on here and play it? But you wanted to make the play part into something that was real, and then you want to. Then it comes to a point where it confuses those who might not necessarily know him about his reputation. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I appreciate you, man. Shit, man. Shoot. So hell, I guess for the most part, it's generally just you and I on here. So I guess you moderate yourself, we moderate each other, I guess. Mm-mm. Yeah, man, I don't fall. I ain't fall for it. Like I said, the first time I saw him in his hat was on a Facebook forum, and I went on there and out, and the guy that he was interviewing him, you know, he had, you know, like most of the time these internet bloggers, they have very little information about the man. So what they do is they take snippets and impressions from the character, and then they also, I guess, you since they can find all kind of people that either have been have had problems with Charleston, or how to explain it? What he Why am I talking about this nigga? Let me get off this nigga, man. You know, it's fuck that nigga, man. But I appreciate you coming through, dude, man. But no, man, you gonna have to. That ain't the way, my friend. You saw the video. I'm just going on to say that that your ass was hurt. Them boys fucked you over at that fight, and then, you know, that Charleston was the one that stood up for you. Charles even went to go get people to help you, talking about suing motherfuckers. Yeah, on the sake of your name, the name of you. But man, I feel special. That nigga came through my chat. I'm being facetious, of course. But yeah, man. Yeah, man. You know, and I can understand the excitement because hell, I mean, even with my little increased growth on my YouTube channel, yeah, I can easily be like, yeah, I did it. But that's a lie. That, you know, I did my part because hell, I work hard to the best of my ability. But I was I kept on hitting the brick wall. I needed help. And Mr. Charles graciously rendered his help to me. He said, you know, uh, on my Facebook, he said, you know, I give you permission to use my videos. man, and even though I have been using, and it's always, and even with the permission, it's not. I'm not gonna go off and just be like put the name, subscribe to the Niger Room and make it all about me. I still promote. Like if you look at the video I just put up today with him and his wife. I put his Instagram page on there. You can't look at that video unless you see Mr. Charleston's Instagram page. Now I wish I'd have known better because he got his main Instagram page back. I would have put that on there, but come see. Regardless, it is what it is. But uh, you get around if how do I say this? You have a friend and you put him in a position. Let's say, for example, because we have two different types of situations. You have Mr. Dewberry. Now, when I went to Nashville, man, and I watched and I stood back and I watched when Charles, Dewberry ain't all in the spotlight. Dewberry ain't bobbing around in the spotlight trying to get attention. Dewberry is standing in the cut. I paid attention to this dynamic. Charles might be over here talking. Dewberry in the cut. Somebody might be up there fucking with him, but he still got his eyes on Charleston. When Charles went on stage and did the show, Dewberry walked across that stage first, took his position over there on the side of the stage to moderate the crowd or whatever. And then Charleston came on, and I think Angel was on the other side of the stage. But what I'm saying is that you have, and this is a blessing, man. You have a friend that that you've known since you were a kid. Because I think back to my and I mean I guess maybe I can't call some of my niggas from back in the day, but even the niggas that I call, I could think of a way, some things that they done that put a sour taste in my mouth, there to where I know that uh, our friendship ain't the same as it once was. It ain't as strong as it used to be, and it ain't no way it really ain't no way to fix it. So, and that goes back to the forgiveness part. I can forgive, but I ain't gonna forget a damn thing. The forgiveness part is for my own spirit. The forgiveness allows me to not go walk throughout my life and throughout doing my functions with acrimony and hatred and disdain for people. Because the one person that might have betrayed that you held close that might have betrayed you, that's going to affect the way you deal with people in the future. So, and the crazy part about it was like one of the lives. Uh, Charleston made a statement. He said, Mr. Nigga don't like nobody." And I thought about it, and that shit hit me kind of. I mean, I'm not mean. I fuck with people, man, but really, I kind of don't like. I don't really don't like a lot of people. I got the people I love, but uh, man, it's just after you deal with certain personalities, and I'm a quiet person for the most part. I sit back and I observe, but you know, it only takes from experiences of dealing with people. It only takes that one sign, one or two signs for me to see and be like, ugh. And then once I see that, and then plus on top of it, once I see that sign, you go on out to prove my intuition as being true. Then it just kind of like lowers my faith in people. So it's like when I when when I when I discovered, now I said I discovered, but when I found out, when I saw Mr. Charles online, you know, the way he talk about going through his life and situation, circumstance, whether he bumping heads or whether he coming to accomplishment, that those are things I can relate to. And in the way it kind of like, you know, it gave me uh, a proxy of a person to relate to. You know, I can relate to that. I can relate to being to to making certain type of mistakes in my life, and having the time and having the opportunity to redeem myself and to go about the process of redeem myself, realizing that right is right and wrong is wrong, having that mother in my life, that praying mother in my life, that that won't necessarily that'll know that maybe I'm not doing something that's in my best interest, but she won't be that mother that'll necessarily nag me to death about it. She'll sit there and watch it, and then and let me learn my lesson, and and after I learn my lesson, she'll she'll be that ear. She won't even necessarily come to me and say I told you so, not necessarily, but she'll still be that ear to listen to and let me talk it out with. But to be honest, to be I actually thought that the relationship that he had when he hired Miss Banks, and he had Dewberry there, and the girl be, like I said, I really, because like I said, this wasn't the first time he had snapped on B. Today wasn't the first time he snapped on B. Uh, I yes, I said, well, okay, she got a relationship with Say Cheese. Charles got a relationship with Say Cheese TV. So be it. But I saw how how she was gradually not being on the shows anymore. It was Miss Banks, Dewberry, and Charles, and then it became Dewberry and Charles for a second. Then it was Dewberry, Charleston, and Jill. And so I'm like, well, yeah, because of the fact Miss Banks, she had went to have her surgery or whatever. So, but even all during that time period, it was like, well, okay, well, you know, because even in Nashville, she had called Charleston while we was outside the restaurant. Man, I said, well, yeah, but I would like to, yeah, I don't know what she heard me or something, but some nigga was talking about how he wanted her or something like that, but blah blah blah. Uh, you know, in my mind, I thought that was gonna be the winning team. Miss Banks, she's smart, she know Charleston. I would think she had his best interest in heart. That if that's your friend for all these years, and and Dewberry didn't proved himself as solid with the man, because one of the first experience I seen, first time I really found out who Dewberry was when they had the game related, not game related podcast, and it was the Mob James situation, and I know y'all, I don't know if y'all remember how. There was an interaction between there was kind of, I guess, an argument or whatever between Mob James and Charleston, and and you could hear Dewberry in the back, and it's like, well, the people were saying, well, Mob James would whoop Charles, Mob James would done this and that. There, I said, man, that nigga homeboy, right? Do you think that nigga homeboy was gonna let that happen? But then after that. That was one of the first betrayals. That Uncle Hen shit. That's one of the first. That's one of the points why I asked him what's up with all betrayal. That was a successful show, and due to the fact that the gang politics or whatever, I guess Charles just disrespected the gang so too tough, where uh, they stopped doing the show, but. After that, it's like, it was okay. Well, Charles was like, well, hell, that's my nigga. And I didn't put my nigga in a position. I thought that I put my nigga in a position where we could win, but evidently, the people that I made this relationship, that I had this relationship with, they didn't necessarily want to see me win. They were more interested in what they could get out of me. So that left Dewberry in a bind. Well, I mean, I guess Dewberry had his own job of doing whatever, but Charleston was coming more and more popular. So what he did was, okay, Mr. Dewberry, get you a channel. And Charles went about promoting that man's channel, got that man's channel monetized relatively quickly. And from that point on, it became more and more up for Dewberry. Then, fuck it, we don't need Uncle here. Let's do the game related, not gang related podcast. Then he bought Dewberry on. They had the podcast blowing up. You know, now the situation happened. Well, no, I don't even think really nothing happened that necessarily jeopardized the continuance of the podcast. Maybe the situation where where the Doctor O split might have kind of messed with something a little bit, but uh, from the game related podcast, then comes the shows, the comedy shows. Let's go into comedy. Uh, Dewberry right there with him. You know, Dewberry remain solid, remain loyal. Charleston remain solid, remain loyal to Dewberry, man. That's the type of, if you have a friend like that, that is a blessing, man. I'm just talking. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He really did kind of. It really, and I can't even really put. Cause if all Duke Farrell really had to do was leave the nigga alone and stop coming on little podcasts or whatever blogger shows, trying to ride, thinking they was gonna destroy Charleston, for the fact that he done made up he claimed that he raped a white woman, but he raped him and he made it. Y'all know what the character do. He thought he was gonna take that and he was gonna ruin the man's popularity, ruin the man's success. Nobody, but all they did is I guess it goes back to the saying, watch who you dig a grave. When you dig a grave for somebody else, you better dig too, cause you might need it for your own black ass, per se. But I think Mr. Farrell, I'm gonna say something. Be talking about that man, but that man came on here. Mr. Farrell got one leg in the grave. Meanwhile, Charles is dancing above ground. Still, even in the situation that happened today, that's not gonna stop this man's popularity because we all know he has a core base. You know, the people that Mrs. Banks called y'all weirdos. Cause I saw her live. I was watching her live and Charles's live simultaneously. But like I said, it's none of my business. I really hate that she did the live. I really wish. I don't understand why people can't call people and talk to people, man. If that's your people, that's your close people. Y'all done got bread together. Y'all done broke bread together. So. You take just one little, just some internet shit, okay? And this brings me to another point. I think, and this is just my speculation, I think that V removed Juanita name from the profile, and then called her and put herself to try and attempt to put Juanita in the same boat that she was in. And instead of Juanita just making the call and seeing what the business was, she went along with the go along. But then it also comes back to, well, hell, even if you did go along with the go along, then why would you try to make the backdoor deal with the billboard man? That trust and that loyalty is a motherfucker, man. And I just got finished watching one of the Instagrams where even Charles wife said, you know, y'all could work it out, y'all could work it out. And Charles said, yeah, it's broke. It's a crack in that crack. You can't fix that crack. It may be a circumstance where they may be able to talk and get along or whatever, but as far as going back to the way it was, to the beautiful relationship, well, the from the outside looking in, the beautiful relationship that it was, I don't think it ain't no going back to that, because it's always gonna be that doubt in his mind. Well, hell, if I do something that might piss her off, or might have her feeling some kind of way, she'll figure out, since she's managing. Since she's in the role of management, she may do something that might jeopardize a business deal, or a relationship that they might have with someone else. I saw a post that one of my boys made online before, and he took some shots at me. Oh man, that online shit with them subs, man. Took some shots at me. Instead of doing the same, I just called him up. We cleared the air, and he apologized online, and I still can't fully trust. Yeah, yeah, because you did it the way, and you did it in the way that a man, or a real person. I ain't gonna make a gender thing, but a thumb down person that's devoted and loyal to somebody. You did it in the practical way. You ain't got to make a show out of it. You ain't got to uh 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 I don't you ain't got to do it the wrong way. I ain't gonna dress up. You ain't got to do it the fucked up way. Do it the right way. You know, you got the relationship with the motherfucker. You ain't got the relationship with the girl. She ain't had the relationship with the girl V. She ain't had the relationship with the billboard man. She had the core relationship was between her and Charles. So if any confusion, or issues that might have been going on, the person who she was supposed to talk to was the person that she got the relationship with. And that goes back, like I said, it's kind of like the little Boosie and the Ti situation, where Boosie got on Vlad TV, and Vlad TV did the snake move. I said, well, you hear about Ti snitching on his dead cousin to get his charges, whatever. And then Boosie gets all dramatic and talking about, oh, that's against the code, this, that, and the third. I can't fuck with that, blah blah blah. And then all of a sudden they meet the airport and everything's. Man, fuck out of here with that fucking make believe ass shit. Y'all talk about y'all scrutinize Charleston, make believe shit is real, but that shit just looks obviously make believe, like that little low budget record promotion shit that they did in regards to I'm not his friend no more cause he snitched. He ain't snitch on me. He snitched on a dead cousin, but I'm not his friend no more. Fuck out of here with that cornball shit. Yeah, boots. I mean, but you got to think about it, man. Uh, Niggas more excited, Well, I said people more excited to hear to see Boosie get on Instagram Live or Vlad than they are to hear a motherfucking record from him, or to see one of his movies that he made. Remember, he got on there. He was real upset because motherfuckers wasn't watching that movie that he made. So it's like, well, yeah, of course that's what he would get. I would imagine that's what he would get excited for, because that's, for the most part, that's where its relevancy, and I guess for a better part, his bread and butter comes from. You know, uh, getting on camera talking excitedly. hmm But yeah, man. I always be just sitting there holding my little skinny blunt. I got my little skinny blunt here. I was supposed to be smoking, being cool, but I just let it be, let it be a prop. I got it's payday. My payday hit the books, so I guess tomorrow morning I go and holler at my guy so I can give me a couple of new strains for the next couple of weeks. I get paid weekly, but I get enough weed to last me for a little while. But I just happened to run out because I went out of town. This is the rest of the weed I had for where I about to go out of town. But yeah, man. Bottom line of it all is that uh, that's a sad thing, that Lord, that trust will compromise. The loss of trust will compromise the bonds of loyalty. And once the bonds of loyalty are compromised, if one person, if only one person, or even better yet, if both people are not dedicated to the loyalty in the way in which they once were, betrayal is easily welcome into the door, and that's what we saw. And I mean, I hate to say it. You hate to see it. I was like, oh damn, not Miss, not boss lady. Boss lady did what? I was like, oh damn. But another, I guess on the bright side of it all, it seemed like every time one of these relationships, when the Charles breaks one of these relationships with these people, the elevation continues. He elevates a little bit higher. I guess the next move is hollering at Miss Deborah Anthony. And Deborah Anthony is in the industry. I don't know. You know, you have to play it as it goes, and Charles, all Charles can do, and I guess that's a brilliant strategy. That's something else I can relate to. Play dumb to find out what's going on. Play ignorant nigga until you can gather up all your information, and once you got all your information, and then you see it, you witness a violation, then you can like realize you could reveal the fact that you were not so much an ignorant nigga, but you were more so an observer. Hell yeah, Miss Snake. They don't understand that, man. That either the abbas and the preachers, all these the math hopefuls, just any of these folks. They get on here they don't do the proper research. If you're gonna make accusations, if you're gonna make accusations against a motherfucker, something, especially accusations is heavy. Is that if you're gonna make determinations like, well, this person should be working, he said this about kids, or he shouldn't be doing actual work with kids. He said this, he said that. Man, actions speak louder than words. And I mean, like I said in one of the last videos, I said, well, when he came down to Nashville, uh, that all came that I had a chance to witness him put that character jacket on and get from that camera and and do what he do. And then once he turned that camera off, he wrapped it on up because he was ready to go outside to speak to the people, and he was tapping in. He had his he took the character jacket off, and he reverted back to Mr. Charleston, and whatever task he had to do at hand, he tapped in, he meditated for it, and it was so smooth. He recognized what audience he had to speak to. He tapped in, he focused on what he needed. I guess when you're a public speaker, and I guess doing this right here is public speaking, and he does a lot. He does this a lot, so and he does the public speaking a lot. So I guess if you after you have much practice doing it, you can take that moment and gather your thoughts together and have a 20-minute speech together. He did that tape. He took that character jacket off. He sprayed the coluncus. They was smoking in the, well, he was smoking in the van. I don't know. Mr. Charles smoked that CBD, but he was smoking. Dewberry don't smoke. Dewberry, I ain't see Dewberry with a glass or nothing. But he sprayed his cologne on. Uh, I got out the van because I said because I know whose show it is. I said I'm not going to speak to them. I said, well, y'all let me get out first, and I got out and I walked all the way around. I walked all the way around the audience, the back of the audience, to the other side of the stage. It came back up in the other way, and then they came out, like they supposed to come out. Man, that's fucked up, man. I don't. I just, at the end of the day, man, Mrs. Charleston White is the real MVP. Uh, prayers, pray. Dang, uh, that ain't gonna be. I do wish the best for my nigga, and I hope I know he'll recover from this. And I actually hope that the relationship between him and Sister Banks is somewhat repaired. I don't necessarily care him. I mean, I guess I got my bias. I don't give a damn about the situation with V. But uh, I could tell the nigga. You know, when you look at somebody every day, just about every day online, you can see where their emotions are. I mean, I could tell that nigga hurt. That shit hurt that nigga, man. But Unitas, man, let me get off here, man, cause I got to finish my little functions so I can prepare for another day at the plantation tomorrow. I appreciate you for coming through, brother. And I guess sooner or later we'll get more people in here to hang out with us besides random folks like Duke Farrow. And you'll have somebody to actually moderate. Show enough, nephew, nice. I appreciate it. Somebody else came in. I read their comment too. Johnson. Yeah, shout out to Johnson for coming through here. Shout out to Duke Farrell for coming through here. Peace and love, brother Unitas, and I holler at you next go around, fam. Nigga Nation or nothing.